Music, drama, costumes, sets, lights. Opera has been popular for 400 years and has changed with every style and period of music from early Baroque until today. Operas are still being written, and some think they are the highest form of artistic expression known to man. Opera seems important, but what is it and how did it originate? That's what we will be discussing in this video. What is opera? Opera, as defined by the Encyclopedia Britannica, is a staged drama set to music in its entirety, made up of vocal pieces with instrumental accompaniment, and usually with orchestral overtures and interludes. In some operas, the music is continuous throughout an act. In others, it is broken up into discrete pieces or numbers, separated either by recitative, a dramatic type of singing that approaches speech, or by spoken dialogue. Great! From that definition, we can understand opera to be first and foremost a drama set to music where the main declamation process is singing. Everything else can be explained away by differing styles of opera in different time periods. This drama that is set to music is usually a story that has been turned into verse or poetry, called a libretto or booklet in Italian. The English word opera is a shortening of the Italian phrase opera in musica, or work in music. This work is usually staged with sets, costumes, and stage works to create an entire artwork. The thing that delineates an opera from a play with music is the use of the human voice to carry the plot through singing. Opera has some special styles of singing that it uses to move the plot along and give the audience information. Recitative is one of the most striking styles used in opera. It is a sing-songy declamation that imitates the natural patterns of speech, but in song form. It comes in two styles: secco recitative, where the singer is supported by just a few instruments, usually just a harpsichord, and accompagnato recitative, where the singer is backed by a whole orchestra. Let's listen to some secco recitative now. It's from The Marriage of Figaro by Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. The Count is going over the details of a commotion between his wife, the Countess, and one of the boys in the castle, Cherubino.
Che imbarazzo è mai questo? Un foglio anonimo, la camera in gabinetto chiusa, la padrona confusa, un uomo che salta dal balcone in giardino, un altro appresso che dice d'esser quel desso. Non so cosa pensar. Potrebbe forse qualcun de miei vassalli a simili razze comune l'ardir, ma la contessa che un dubbio l'offende e la rispetta troppo se stessa e l'onor mio. L'onore dove diamine la posto ma l'errore.
As you could hear, the only instrument accompanying him was the harpsichord. The harpsichord also did not play continuously. It only interjected when the tonality needed to move forward. Otherwise, it was the Count singing alone. This is secco, or dry recitative. The other form that recitative can take is accompagnato recitative. That's when the whole orchestra backs up the singer during the recit. Let's hear some now. This example is again from The Marriage of Figaro, in the same act as the secco recitative excerpt. The Count is about to launch into an aria about how he doesn't like the fact that Figaro is happy with his fiancée, Susanna, when the Count would rather bed her.
Hai già vinta la causa. Cosa sento? In qual laccio io cadea. piacer mio la sentenza sarà.
The orchestra acts just as the harpsichord did, just interjecting with small snippets here and there. The orchestra also gave us information about how the character was feeling by the way it was playing during the recitative. During our example, it was obvious that the Count was angry. You could hear that in the short interjections the orchestra used, along with the repeated rhythmic patterns in the longer segments. Accompagnato recitative usually abuts an aria or solo work for singer and the orchestra. These arias are sprinkled throughout an opera and usually embody an emotional reaction to the information that was just discussed or discovered in the sacro recitative. The scene that has an aria in it has three parts: the sacro recitative, the accompagnato recitative, and the aria itself. The sacro recitative usually has the plot elements and the pertinent information in it. It is where characters can interact and exchange dialogue. The accompagnato recitative is where the emotional reaction to this information is laid out and explained. The aria is where the emotional reaction happens in the form of a song. At the base level, that is how an opera is stitched together when it is a number opera, like in Mozart or Verdi. There are more than just arias in an opera. There could also be groups of characters singing together, such as duets, trios, and quartets. Usually, the sacro recitative scene with a number of people in it will just go straight into a duet, trio, or quartet without any accompagnato recitative. Choruses also play a large part in opera, where the chorus plays townspeople, court, or other large groups of people. These choruses can have all the chorus members singing together or in sections to create a wide range of effects. Let's listen to one of the most well-known choruses in the opera literature, Va Pensiero, or the chorus of the Hebrew slaves from Verdi's Nabucco. Is singing together in this excerpt so that you can understand it as the whole community speaking. They're lamenting about their lost homeland after the loss of the first temple in Jerusalem in 586 BCE. There are four main voice types used in opera: soprano, mezzo-soprano, tenor, and bass. These voices cover the pitch range of the human voice that can be produced in a singing manner. There are other voice types that are more specific to the outer reaches of the range, such as countertenors, who are men that sing in a range usually only women can sing in, and contraltos, a woman with a lower pitched voice than a mezzo-soprano. One of the most popular in-between voice types is the baritone, in between a tenor and a bass. The voice part can also be called a bass baritone if the singer has an extended low voice, but the possibility to reach some higher notes. Let's hear some examples of the four main voice types. The first type is the soprano, or the highest voice in the human register. It is usually sung by a woman, but a countertenor can also sing up in the same range. Let's hear Angela Gheorghiu singing a small part of one of the most famous soprano arias, O Mio Bambino Caro, from Puccini's Gianni's Schicchi. Sopranos usually play leading roles, ingenues, young women, or love interests to the other male roles. The second type of voice is the mezzo-soprano, or half-soprano in Italian. They usually sing at a lower range than sopranos do, but the lowest female voices have the title of contralto. Let's hear Dolora Zajick sing the part of Amneris in Verdi's Aida in the Judgement Scene. Mezzo-sopranos usually play secondary roles for women, including servants, wise women, and pants roles where they dress up and sing as men. The third type of voice in opera is the tenor. It's the highest male voice type if you discount the countertenor. Let's listen to one of the world's most famous tenors, Luciano Pavarotti, sing his emblematic aria, La Donna Immobile, from Verdi's Rigoletto.
La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento e di pensiero. Sempre una amabile, leggiadro viso, in pianto il riso e menzognero. La donna è mobile, qual piuma al vento, muta d'accento di pensiero.
The tenors are usually the romantic or heroic leads in an opera, taking center stage. Some take dastardly turns, as in Verdi's Rigoletto, but mostly they are a force for good. The fourth voice type in opera is bass. They are the lowest voices on the opera stage. In the mid-19th century, they were split off into baritones and basses for more clarity in the range. Let's listen to Kurt Moll in the Commendatore Scene from Mozart's Don Giovanni.
Don Giovanni, a cena teco, mi invitassi e son
The great mystery of opera is why it's so popular for so long, leading up to today. One good guess can come from the idea that opera is all about the human voice. It takes the qualities that we find best in the human voice, the direct link to the center of our humanity, and extrapolates them into all other art forms, music, drama, and stagecraft. This fusion of all the art forms around the center of the voice creates something that is special in ways we can't express. So how did opera come about? Where did it come from? We will dive into the story of opera's beginnings in the next video. Thank you for joining me in this video about what is opera. I had a great time talking to you about it. Remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. You can also support the making of these videos on Patreon. I put a link in the description box below. Also, you can find the link to my bibliography in the description box. I post them on my website, dominiqueroyam.com. Join me on social media to continue the conversation. My handle is Dominique Royam on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks, and see you in my next video.